We're back with some more groundbreaking news to somebody. I don't know. I don't even know who this person is, but apparently they popped up in my feed and Diesel Patches made a video about it. So I'm gonna find out whether or not I need to join the masses in being outraged with this apology video. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
Pretty bold claim from the title, I know, but what I'm reviewing today is a culmination of what makes a prime YouTube apology video. The channel we're looking at today is named Cruel World Happy Mind, hosted by someone named Madison, and she made a 3-hour video on Ethan and Hila Klein titled The Fall of H3, How Ethan Klein Destroyed His Career, which is ironic because, one, no matter how you feel about Ethan, his career is still going strong, and secondly, this video is probably the reason why this channel's career is over. There is a hefty amount of negative comments here, and not one soul dares to defend this individual. I mean, I'm not kidding when I say it's the most stereotypical apology made by a YouTuber I have ever watched, and coming from 2025, that is an achievement. This shit has everything. We have zero makeup on because you gotta look natural when bending the knee to your audience. We have her admitting she received so much hate and threats since her original video in order to gain sympathy.
I started receiving a ton of just mass hate comments, hate messages, almost threats not to post the video.
Having ad placements on her video so she can make money from her mistakes. What else? Oh yeah, an overly bright white background that burns your fucking eyeballs at just a glance. All we're missing really is an animal to distract us from her wrongdoing. Oh, there it is. But what is this apology actually about? We know it has something to do with this video, but what specifically did Madison say in her video about H3 that has her saying sorry? Well, aren't you guys in for a treat? Because once again, we're looking at oh goody.
Israel is 100% committing a genocide.
You know, personally, I don't really like talking about genocides, but it seems to find its way on this channel a lot. Yeah, a good chunk of this apology video is dedicated to Israel and Palestine because Madison in her H3 video said the word conflict instead of genocide while referencing Israel and Palestine, and that for some reason warrants a 30-minute apology video.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty outraged right now. I don't know who this person is. Popped my radar, and now I feel strongly opinionated now on something I had no idea. Why are people like this?
I'm willing to bet only like 4 people complained about this, so she panicked and not only pinned a comment of someone criticizing her, sent out a community post, but also uploaded this train wreck, the ultimate damage control. All right, let's start.
Israel is 100% committing a genocide, and I feel so deeply ashamed of myself and disappointed that my video could have been interpreted in any other way, but I could see how doing that created a sort of a video that made it look like I was fence sitting, and that's not my stance at all, and I'm really disappointed that that's how it looked. I had seen Ethan do streams where he's reporting videos as terrorists promoting terrorism, and I did not want that to happen to my video after weeks of research and effort put into the video, and honestly, I was afraid that making certain statements would increase that possibility of the video getting taken down.
What statements? It's kind of important to give context because I have no clue what you could have said that would have prompted Ethan to flag your video. All we get is yeah, I heard somewhere that Ethan flags videos all willy-nilly. There were some statements I could have said, but I didn't want my video to get removed. Anyways, moving on. Ethan could very well be that childish. I don't know because Madison fails to provide an example or again, even state what her so-called nuclear level comments are. It's just kind of brushed away.
Essentially, the reason why I also recommended the Throughline podcast, though I don't even know if that's a good enough source. Again, it's out of my depth in that area. Politics is not an issue that I cover very often or at all. But the reason why I recommended those podcasts was because I almost think that this genocide happening now isn't even the extent of a lot of these issues. There's a huge historical aspect behind it, especially with Israel. I really recommended the Throughline podcast and especially the podcast on settlements just to see how...
What is this even about? Like, why is this even news? That's what I want to know. Internet, can you guys fill me in on why this is news? No idea why this is even going on. What does she really do other than talk about a conflict that's not happening on US soil? I genuinely don't understand because most of these streamers have gone super political and it's...
Since Israel's inception, they've been they started on Palestinian land. They've been continually subjugating the Palestinian people, encroaching on their land, pushing them away and away and away, and yet simultaneously claiming that they're being targeted by Muslim countries. Of course, the Palestinian people, out of desperation, are going to try to find a way to fight back.
Oh my God, what does this have to do with anything? Hey guys, remember that video I made about Ethan Klein? Well, guess what? Palestinians have been living on land for years, way before the Israelis, and it is their right to fight back. All this info dumping is coming from a video about Ethan and Hila Klein's online careers.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. This is supposed to be an apology video and she's talking about politics? What's going on, guys? Oh, and girls. And everything in between. I don't know, dude. I'm not trying to get canceled anymore. I'm trying to keep it...
Seems a bit silly. Now, obviously, to be fair, this topic is something that's been brought up on the H3 podcast multiple times, so it's not completely off topic, but what is the point of Miss I'm way out of my depth trying to give me a history lesson on Israel and Palestine, all because she used the word conflict instead of genocide? Again, does this really warrant a 30-minute apology video? Your community post was fine enough, and this is just overkill. So if you haven't caught on yet, this apology video is basically 30 minutes of rambling, and that's because Madison noted at the beginning of this apology video that she wanted to do all of this in one take.
This is the first time that I'm going to try filming a video without doing any cuts and just speaking openly, honestly, uncensored. So hopefully YouTube doesn't take this video down and people don't mass report it.
Wow, how authentic. Did I say authentic? I meant fucking stupid. And by not including any edits to show context, and by restraining yourself from cropping clips, you only open up more opportunities for you to slip up again by saying or doing something idiotic. This isn't sincere, it's just
Shots fired at. Why am I catching strays here? This is crazy. Why am I taking this personally? It feels like he's targeting me. I'm not doing any jump cuts or edits.
responsible. For example, Madison made this comment that is now edited out from her apology video.
You know, him being, living in Israel, upholding these, Israeli values and ideals, and having to sort of face what was happening in front of his eyes.
It is 4:30. Yeah, but we're gonna
and ideals that have been sort of programmed into him from when he was born.
And because Madison made this comment about Ethan being programmed from birth after talking about how he was influenced by Israeli values, she then had to issue another apology. And just like this apology, accountability is nowhere to be found. In my most recent video, I filmed everything in one take. Through that, I said something that I feel has become more than what I intended. I said Ethan has been programmed from birth. This has led many people to draw the worst conclusions about my statement. Call me the worst things. I am truly sorry. I deleted the sentence because that was not my intention.
Unpopular take, but Americans are programmed since birth as well. In fact, almost everyone of every nation is programmed by the people that are in power from birth. Like, who's in charge of the textbooks? Remember when you were growing up and you're like, man, I really need to know about the Civil War and all of these things in the past because it's going to be very, very crucial for me to remember these things when I'm an adult because it's going to help me live a successful life. And then you grew up, became an adult, and you're like, I think I'm just going to put the fries in the bag, dude.
Yeah? And what was your intention? You failed to specify what you actually meant in this apology, just like how you failed to specify anything in this apology. There's really only one conclusion people can draw from that statement. You talked about how Ethan Klein has been influenced by Israeli values and then said these values were instilled onto him since he was born. Like, how else am I supposed to interpret that?
Yeah, I think that I was afraid to use certain phrasing that was a little bit too intense in that video because, like I said, Ethan has reported videos and YouTube is very intense. Certain words get used and a video will get taken down completely.
Wait, so you think that Ethan would have removed your video if you said the word genocide and didn't give your unfiltered take on Israel and Palestine? That's nuts. Why the fuck would Ethan Klein flag your video because of your position on Israel and Palestine? And if Ethan Klein has flagged videos solely for that reason, I would like some proof of that if you don't mind. Is your point that Ethan would use your wording as an excuse to flag your video? Well, I don't buy that. Madison claims she has this fear of her videos being removed because she once played a clip of the infamous Logan Paul Japan vlog.
I used the Suicide Forest video from Logan Paul for 10 seconds once in a Jake Paul, Logan Paul deep dive that was about 3 hours long. 10 seconds of footage from that and the video got wiped entirely.
Who's watching these 3-hour videos? Bro, tag them in the comments below. Who's watching this stuff? It's an unspoken rule. You just don't speak about Israel, and you don't speak about that because who controls the platforms? That's all I'm going to say. Like, I'm not trying to get canceled, guys.
From YouTube.
And this logic is just ridiculous because, yeah, no shit, YouTube removed that. Showing a dead body, whether censored or not, is a little different than certain vocabulary. To me, this is nonsense. It's an irrational fear because you have yet to prove why you felt that way.
Whether you empathize with Ethan, whether you're pro-Palestine, you're able to watch and understand each perspective. And that was probably way too ambitious for someone who has no idea what they're talking about when it comes to politics. And I definitely understand that.
See, this is why I can't take you seriously because just a moment ago, you were trying to give a history lesson on how long this group of people lived on this land and where you stand on that issue. How could you possibly have an opinion on the matter if you just said you don't know what you're talking about? Why the fuck should I listen to your take on Israel and Palestine?
Why should you listen to anyone's take on politics? You want to hear my take on politics? You don't. All right, why would you even care about my political opinions on anything of that matter? Really?
I don't care what your conclusion is if you just admitted.
And that was probably way too ambitious for someone who has no idea what they're talking about when it comes to politics.
Hey everyone, I'm here to say free Palestine. Now, I don't know exactly what's happening over there or even be able to point it out on a map, but I hope y'all agree with my take. Do your research first and then tell me your stance, because by admitting you don't know what's happening while saying free Palestine, all you're really showing me is that I just want to appeal to your viewers, especially when you leave comments like this on your apology video. The amount of Islam.
Sorry, Diesel Patches, but that was probably the worst take I've ever heard. I think most people know where Palestine is, unless you've been living under a rock or something. But then again, don't cancel me. I'm not taking a side on this or the other. I'm not trying to get canceled anymore, alright?
Phobia happening around the world is incredibly disheartening and disturbing. Hashtag free Palestine. Okay, so within the second half of this apology video, it kind of stops being an apology video. It's really just Madison giving her stance on some Ethan Klein stuff. That is, until she utters the name Bad Empanada, or as Madison would pronounce it,
Bad Empanada.
So Madison reads an email that was sent by Bad Pinata, and in that email, he threatens to sue her for slander because she insinuated that he made up the story of Ethan's children eating dog shit.
Just take a look at that nose for a second. I'm not gonna put the meme on here, but you know what I'm getting at, dude.
I have instructed my lawyers, Ram Bar Nissim and Tiffany Hea, to examine the possibility of legal action against you for these intentional omissions designed to defame me. I suggest you look up Tiffany in particular. She has some very interesting connections, and you really don't want to mess with her. Have a good day, Joan.
Well, as it turns out, Bad Pinata was just goofing and gaffing because the lawyers he named are Ethan Klein's lawyers, and I guess he just wanted to trick Madison and kind of scare her a bit, see if she would catch that. Madison found out she got pranked from someone in her comment section, where she had to admit she didn't do enough research and just panicked when she saw the email. But let's say Bad Pinata wasn't joking. Why on earth would you read this private email publicly to your audience? Why not apologize to him privately if you believe he was being serious? Did you do this to make us feel bad for you? Like, oh no, Bad Pinata man is suing you. The funniest part about this is that after finding out that she got pranked, she removed Bad Pinata's name from the title, which included other names of who she's apologizing to, but didn't cut that part out of the video. Interesting choice. Well, hope you all enjoyed me reviewing this apology video. Next time you see me, I will be completely tearing up and insulting a YouTuber that has had it coming for a while.
I didn't even know who this person was or what their opinions are, but now that I've heard this, I am ready to grab my... I'm not gonna grab a pitchfork. I'm not gonna grab my torches. I don't even know why this is a thing. And why are you going after WestJet? Honestly, Diesel Patches, this is probably the biggest letdown I've seen in a really, really long time. This was a nothing burger with a side of nothing sauce. Just put the fries in the bag, bro. But if you like this content, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. But honestly, how is this news? Why do people get off on canceling people? I think the internet has ruined a lot of people. But then here I am on the internet spouting my nonsense. So please don't cancel me.